Just going to do a little impromptu video as the Wrestlecon buzz is going about the one event, and that's the Rick Steiner, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, Gisele Shaw. And so I'll just give you a quick little background. I mean, I kind of witnessed part of the event, so I'm just going to share what I saw because everyone seems to be talking about it. And some of the comments I read didn't make sense, some of the comments I read did make sense, and so I'm just going to give you my little take on it as a bystander who really has no skin in the game. I know Rick Steiner as a wrestler. I like the Steiner brothers as a wrestler. I've never thought Rick Steiner has been a great meet, as I don't think he's that fan friendly. He's even, I believe, in one of my videos of the top 10 worst experiences meeting. I think Scott Steiner's a lot more friendly with the fans than Rick is. But so like I said, I appreciate his wrestling, but it's not like I'm this big Rick Steiner fan outside of that. Gisele Shaw, and once again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name because that's the thing. About what I know about her is I know that she would be related to Impact Wrestling, and I haven't really been following Impact Wrestling since they've gone. I don't get to watch them anymore. It's just changed. I mean, I liked Impact Wrestling like 2010, 2011, and I really just haven't followed. There's just been so much other wrestling to follow, so I don't know anything about. I have no opinion of her whatsoever, aside the fact that she's a wrestler and I like wrestlers, but I wouldn't be able to pick. I mean, if she was at a table with a bunch of the other Impact wrestlers, I wouldn't like the women. I wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah. I mean, I know a couple of them, and especially like some of the older ones that have been around for a while. But I know there's all these new ones, and I don't know them, so I don't really. Yeah, so I'm just saying I don't have an opinion of her one way or another. So I kind of saw them. I was pretty close to them, and all of a sudden I saw her coming over and shouting stuff to Rick, and Rick shouting back. I didn't hear any of the stuff that was supposedly said. It was more, so this was probably a little after the initial event, if the initial event happened. As some people say it didn't, some people say it did. I don't know. I'm not here to make opinions because I didn't hear. I just heard the shouting, and she was really mad about something, and they were kind of shouting back and forth. And so that's about what I saw. So this would have been, if her timeline is correct, or if her the way things happened were correct, then this would have probably been when I believe she said in one of her tweets that she heard it and then she came back and addressed the situation, and I'm guessing this would have been that part of the situation then. But like I said, I didn't hear. I pretty much just saw two people in an argument, and that's kind of where the whole thing seems to, where some people I think who maybe aren't here don't understand. It's like there's a huge hall, and they're all like wondering why don't all the other wrestlers step in, and it's like it just isn't like I was probably one of the closer people there, and I had no idea what was going on. The only thing I could tell was she was really mad about something, and I couldn't even tell if it was Rick or Scott, I guess, that she was mad at, and I couldn't tell who was yelling back, and I couldn't hear what whoever was yelling back, and so it's just kind of like one of those situations. And so there'd be wrestlers with tables down, but then they're interacting with fans, and I mean, I'm trying to think of who. I think Dean Malenko, Ted DiBiase, and stuff are in that area, and if they might be taking pictures with fans, doing autographs. They might not be involved in the whole situation. They might not have heard it. It's like, it's really hard. If you've seen some of my videos of just walking through it's crowded and it's hard. So I had to be one of the closer people there, and I did not know what happened until I read about it on Twitter. I knew there was an argument. I didn't know it was a major argument. I didn't know if they were upset. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's turned into a lot bigger thing than I thought it. It's a lot bigger thing than I thought it was at the time. I thought it was just, oh, someone was mad about something, and now I guess it's someone's mad about something big, and however it happened. So that's why I think people who maybe aren't here don't realize that it's just, you just can't. It just wasn't like people don't know. Everyone just doesn't know what's going on. Oh, everyone should have just stepped in or something. Like, I had no, and then on top of that, like, so they say other wrestlers, so there's not that many wrestlers, so you're more likely to have these fans close by, and what is a fan going to do to step in? I mean, like, I'm not going to step, in essence, it was none of my business, and some people might argue that, oh, it should be your, no, I mean, I'm not going to, I'm at a wrestling event, I'm trying not to be noticed. I'm trying not to do anything that's gonna just. I'm just here to meet the wrestlers, put some stuff up on my channel for everybody else and stuff like that. So it wasn't like this clear situation where everyone saw what was going on and then no one did anything. It was more like there was an argument. Probably most of the people around didn't quite know what it was until after the fact. And so today, yes, and that's been, I think other people have mentioned, Rick Steiner is not at the table. According to the Wrestlecon tweet, the matter's been addressed, and so the speculation is that he was asked to leave and is not allowed to be a part of here, which is kind of odd because now you just have Scott Steiner. I guess Scott Steiner could be an autograph by himself, but I mean, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, Wrestlecon just lost to the Steiner brothers as a tag team, and so I don't know if, once again, Gisele Shaw, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is here. I think they might be done. So I don't think Impact Wrestling had a big table today. There might have been a couple of them there, and like I said, I wouldn't even know which one would be her if there was a bunch of them at the table. I only recognize the Machine Guns, Chris Daniels, Kazarian, people like that from when I used to watch it a little bit more. So. But yeah, it wasn't as cut and dry as some of the things I was reading on Twitter, like, oh, everyone should have stepped in, and if it happened the way it was and it sounded bad, please don't get mad at the wrestlers next to them and say, oh, they were just protecting one of the boys, because it's like, I honestly. They probably didn't know what was going on until after the fact either. And then after the fact, people can take their sides. Now everyone knows the story. Maybe there's some people that are taking a side that you don't agree with, and that would be different. But it was a really weird moment at the time where you didn't know what was going on, and it seemed like it was just a fight of some kind. And so unless you heard it, and like I was somewhere close and I couldn't tell what was going on. If the first thing that ever dawned on me was when she was yelling back at him, and because you're not really thinking that's what's going on. Yeah, and this convention is just so crowded and so loud and so much stuff is happening. It's not like it was just everyone saw it and then and everyone just stood there, oh, that's okay, so we're not going to do anything. I don't think that was the case. That's just my opinion. And like I said, I have no real skin in the game except for the fact that I was here, and I'm trying to give everyone an update of what I saw from WrestleCon, because that's what I do. I make videos and can do that. So thanks for watching my channel, and you can leave comments below. If you leave comments, just please leave constructive comments, and don't leave comments that are completely inappropriate. And because, like I said, I'm not trying to make anything. I'm just telling you what I saw and how it looked to me, and more or less so for someone who was there, what I could hear and what I couldn't hear, and how I could tell that I couldn't even tell what was going on until I read about it. So just thought you guys would like to hear a story of a fan who's here at WrestleCon who is pretty close to the situation, and thanks for watching my channel.